Hey, Chief, you wanted to see me? Did I do something wrong?
Care to explain this?
Oh, them? They joined our team when we left the apartment.
Yeah, and?
And, well, we just picked them up. What's wrong with them?
I'll tell you what's wrong. I just found out that they're Autobots.
Oh, did I recruit Autobots?
First, we have Soulless. Now, we have Autobots. Great. Just great.
Hey now, on the bright side, we did get a new girl. She looks just like your type. What?
Vortex, you have 3 seconds to leave my presence. 1, 2...
Okay, I'm out of here. Bye.
Hey guys, it's Khan. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm the fabulous leader of the Decepticon army, but ironic to my name, I do actually, well, occasionally review Autobots, and we still have to review this guy. Now, yes, this is our other Hot Wheels guy that we gotta review. So here is Bone Shaker, and this is just the part 2 to the whole Hot Wheels collab. So yes, we're gonna be reviewing the other half of the Hot Wheels guys here. And yeah, I guess I didn't realize I recruited Autobots, but But again, I don't discriminate, all right? I don't discriminate. But here is Bone Shaker in his vehicle form. I only really played around with Twin Mill, so I haven't really had a chance to like get this guy in his robot mode. But yes, we are going to go ahead and review Bone Shaker, the other guy for the Hot Wheels collab. So let's go ahead and get started, alright? Alright guys, just like Twin Mill, Bone Shaker is also in his vehicle mode, and this is what he actually looks like. So really cool, I have to say. Really like edgy, masculine, very tough. Really love the skull detail. Just like Twin Mill, I'm gonna have to try to transform this guy back into vehicle mode. So please remember what this guy looks like, because if you guys know me, I am not really skilled at transforming these guys. So again, I do have to preface that I've only been collecting for about a year. So this is what Twin Mill looks like in his vehicle mode. I do see he has this. It looks like it's some sort of a rod, and I apologize if you hear the dogs. It's not my dog, by the way. It's the neighbors, so I apologize if you hear the dogs in the background. But anyways, here is his stick, I guess. When I first saw it, I thought it was a lollipop, but it kind of looks like a lollipop. But it's some sort of like rod, I guess. I guess it's supposed to go in here, I think. I think once I get him back into vehicle mode, I am going to really see where you're supposed to stick the stick inside the vehicle mode. I also love that they creatively made this the Autobot symbol. So yes, this guy is actually an Autobot. I thought he was the Decepticon for a second, but you know, I will say I love the creativity of that. That's pretty genius. I'm just gonna give him a quick little roll here really quick to make sure he can actually roll, and yeah. So without further ado, you guys, I'm gonna see if I can convert this guy into robot mode, and then eventually I'm gonna see if I could transform him back into his vehicle mode. So just like what we did for Twin Mill, let's go ahead and do a bit of a grand reveal here. So 3, 2, 1. Whoa. Oh boy, yeah, he definitely looks like a bad boy for sure. Again, like, I really wish that this guy was the Decepticon, because look at this. Look at how much of a bad boy he is. He definitely looks like a bad boy, but oh boy, I absolutely love the robot mode. Oh boy. I don't know how many times I can say that, but yes. Here is Bone Shaker in his robot mode, and let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation and see what he's all about, alright? Okay, it's time to kind of take a look at Bone Shaker's articulation, starting from the head and making our way down to his legs. So his head can rotate left and right. He is actually able to lift his head quite a bit up compared to Twin Mill, so he is able to look really far up. His arms can swing back and forth just like this. However, he is capable of rotating his arms all the way around, but only if you lift the shoulders up, as they kind of get in the way, so that's the only way how you can only rotate his arms all the way around. He can do a T-pose, but only if you lift the shoulders up, so this is what it looks like once you lift the shoulders up. His arms can twist around, his elbows can bend, Unfortunately, he doesn't have any wrist rotation or basically any hand rotation, though you can bend his hands inward due to his transformation. He does have waist rotation, and he is capable of bending forward as well as bending backwards. He can kick this high, and yes, I did test that he can do the splits in both directions, so he's pretty flexible. His knees can bend, his legs can rotate, and as far as I know, he doesn't appear to have any feet, so there really isn't like a toe or a foot to play around with, though I will kind of comment about this later in the video. And yeah, that's kind of about it for his articulation. It's a little bit underwhelming in contrast to Twinmail, but let's just go ahead and see how he does in the photo shoot, all right? So let's see if we can make this guy into a supermodel, all right? Okay, guys, it's time for the photo shoot. I'm so excited, guys. Oh, I can't wait to see how Bone Shaker turns out in this photo shoot, right? So let's go ahead and begin.
Wait, stop the camera.
Nang, what's wrong?
Oh, just looking at these photos, it just feels a little uninspired. Oh, I don't know.
You know, this is his first time on camera.
I know, but I feel like it's just kind of missing something. You know what I mean?
Want me to hit up Solus Prime for you?
Not a chance. Nang, why don't we stop the photo shoot? We can always try again tomorrow.
Hey guys, what's everyone doing?
Hey, Widow. We're trying to do the photo shoot, but we're having some technical difficulties.
Oh, is there anything I can do?
Nang, don't even think about it.
Oh, Widow girl. How would you like it if you would like to join this photo shoot today? Alright, Widow, all you have to do is just make Bone Shaker look good on camera. So let's go ahead and get started with this photo shoot, alright? So 3, 2, 1, action. So Bone Shaker's main accessory that he has is this rod, and I think I already have commented it earlier, but it like if you notice on the rod, you see that he has like the Autobot insignia on here, but it's in the shape of like a like a skull and bones, kind of like I don't know if it's intended to be like skull and bones or like the poison sign, but I actually kind of like the creativity with it. Basically, this is like his main weapon that he has, and again, I might have already have said this, but it just looks like a giant lollipop. That was the first reaction when I saw it. It looks like a giant lollipop that he carries. The rod is interchangeable on both hands, so you can definitely kind of have him with it on the left or on the right side. I did want to see if he can actually use other weapons, so going with the classic, I want to kind of see if he can equip swords, and yes, he does look like a badass with swords, and I absolutely love it. He definitely looks really great with swords, alright? Like, I think he looks an absolute badass with swords. I did test to see if he can equip Barricade's gun, though a little bit of a note, I have noticed that if his hands are kind of slightly tucked in, because of the little cavity that he has in his wrist, because when you tuck the hands in, it's actually for the transformation. So if his hands are kind of slightly kind of tucked in, it might not, you might not be able to get it socketed in. So you want to kind of make sure his hands are fully straight so that you can actually slot things in his hand. Just kind of a little bit of a little note, because I have noticed that kind of happening a little bit when I try to equip Barricade's gun. And last but not least, he can actually hold Novocaine and Freezer in either one of his hands, so that's so that's awesome. And again, like, he just kind of looks like a badass. Like, he definitely kind of looks like the kind of bad boy you don't really want to mess with. And yeah, that was all the little accessories I wanted to play around with. He doesn't really have like a backdrop or anything, so he just comes with a stick. Okay, guys, now is the moment. Now it's the moment you guys have been waiting for. We're going to see if I can actually turn this guy back into his vehicle mode. And I'm going to be really honest, the first time that I like transformed him to go into robot mode, I was really confused like how to get the arms out. And then transforming this guy back, I was even more confused on like how to put the arms back in. Yeah, I was kind of like stuck at that point, but I think I figured it out. So would you guys like to kind of see how Bone Shaker turned out? So here he is. Here's the final result of my transformation attempt. Alright guys, here is Bone Shaker in his vehicle mode, and it's very close. I think that there were some areas that I got kind of stuck on a little bit. But yeah, his transformation, getting him back into vehicle mode was pretty tricky, alright? But it's pretty close. I was able to get him back into vehicle mode, and this time I was able to figure out where to put the little rod thing. It goes in here. You can see there's a spot here where you can slot... You could just like peg his little scepter. I don't know what is this supposed to be. I thought it's like a giant lollipop, but I guess that's where you put the rod on here. And then, yeah, he is pretty much ready to go. And again, I absolutely love the vehicle mode a lot for this one. Very, very interesting indeed. And it took me a while to realize that the skulls have hands and they're touching the headlights. I really like that a lot for the details. But yeah, here is Bone Shaker in the transformation mode. I was able to successfully transform this guy. I'm gonna be really honest, you guys. I really don't know how I really want to grade the difficulty on this one, because I think I definitely spent a lot of time trying to get these arms in the right spot. I mean, like, once I got it down, it wasn't too bad, but a part of me wants to give him like a 7 out of 10, but I kind of would probably knock him down to a 6 out of 10 on difficulty. I don't think he wasn't like impossible to figure out. But I think between him and Twinmail, he definitely was like the harder one to get down correctly. I definitely spent a lot of time getting the arms in the right spot in the torso section. So I guess my verdict on him is that I'd probably give him like a 6 out of 10, but a part of me wants to give him a 7. But, you know, maybe 7's being a little bit too critical. So I'd probably just give him a 6 out of 10 on difficulty. But I do think that he still looks great in his vehicle form, though. Before I continue on with the critique, I kind of want to know, you guys, are you guys team Twinmail or team Bone Shaker? I'd like to kind of know your thoughts down below. Which of these Hot Wheel guys do you prefer? Do you prefer Bone Shaker or Twinmail? You know, I have to say, I love his appearance. I absolutely love the head sculpt. I love what they did with the chest here. A very, very interesting looking figure, right? And between him and Twinmail, I think he's the most visually striking of the two. But I have to tell you though, like, I really, really, really wanted to like him, you guys. I really, really did. I really wanted to like him so bad. Because now that I've tinkered around with him, there's a couple things I want to address. And probably the big one I want to kind of say is, why is this guy an Autobot? Seriously, why is this guy an Autobot? Okay, like, I'm just so confused why they made him an Autobot. He clearly looks like a villain, all right? He clearly looks like the bad boy. He clearly looks like he's gonna kick your ass. I don't know why he's not the Decepticon, all right? Like, I'm sorry. I really, really am so baffled by their decision to make this an Autobot. But, you know, I suppose if they want to make this guy an Autobot, that's fine. But I'm just so disappointed that he's not a Decepticon. How, like, with his little scepter weapon, I mean, I will give them credit on this design. Like, I like that they use the Autobot thing, but this might as well be like an anti-Autobot weapon or something, like just one hit on an Autobot and they just go poof, you know, like, or just make this a 1 and make the Autobots disappear, right? So but you know, I do think that this is a really interesting accessory that he has, and again, I just love the little design that they did with the Autobot symbol. But back to some actual design things. Something that really kind of threw me off with Bone Shaker, and maybe this is why I had a hard time posing him a little bit. So kind of like Twinmail, where Twinmail had like the hollow legs. I don't know if you guys kind of see, but do you see like how hollow this whole backside is? Like, I don't know if it's just me, but it just looks a little too hollow. Like, it looks like someone just ate like his back or something. Like, he really kind of needs a little bit of meat back here, right? Like, maybe that's why it was throwing me off a little bit when I was taking photos of him, because he definitely looks like the tough guy, right? He's a tough guy who's definitely worked his legs a little too much, but but yeah, I kind of feel like this is a little too hollow. Now, I understand why it's like this because that's where you tuck his arms, but still. And sure, he also has the hollow legs here, right? He's got the hollow legs as well, too. But I can kind of live with that. Like, Twin Mills is kind of like, it looked like someone really ate out his legs. And same with this guy. Like, someone really literally ate out his entire back spot. Yeah, posing ability is really kind of limiting on this guy because on the subject matter of his articulation, he has no wrist rotation. And as you probably notice, he doesn't really have any feet. Although I guess technically he does have a foot. If you just kind of lift this out a little bit, I don't know if you guys can see that, but if you kind of lift this panel out, he kind of technically has a foot, but it kind of looks like a reverse stiletto a little bit. I only really happen to know about this because on the packaging, let me show you really quick. So on the packaging, he technically kind of has a foot. You see like right here, if you just move that panel a little bit, I'm pretty sure that's the panel you move out. He technically kind of looks like he's got a foot if you use that. But I don't know. I don't know if I would really call that the foot. And I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like his arms are also a little too short. It's kind of funny. He's got really thick legs, but then his arms are just really skinny. I think his body proportions seem a little bit odd, maybe a little bit off, but I don't know. You know, like I think he still looks great, but it leaves a lot to be desired a little bit. I think there's so much about him that I really wanted to like, but I was just a little bit disappointed with how he photographed. Kind of funny because like Twin Mill has great articulation, but I don't think he doesn't look visually the best. But this guy looks visually the best, but he doesn't have the best articulation. So I find that really interesting. All right, I do find that very, very interesting. Yeah, Bone Shaker's transformation, I do find it to be a little bit challenging because Twin Mill, I think between the two, I think Twin Mill had the easier transformation. And I think his transformation was only difficult because you have to tuck the arms behind the back, like where that empty cavity is. And then you gotta really like work the legs a little bit too. Like I think his transformation was definitely a little bit more challenging. But still, I think that their vehicle forms are still really good though. But I still think I like his vehicle form the best though. So do I recommend Bone Shaker? Come on, you know what my answer is gonna really be. It's like yes, I do recommend him. I'm probably too much of a Bone Shaker fanboy here because again, like I literally would pass up Twin Mill to get this guy. I still wanted to give them both a chance. I will say that even though this guy has a great appearance, I do think his articulation leaves a lot to be desired, and he does have a little bit more of an advanced transformation compared to Twin Mill, but I think he's still a really good figure though. I do recommend him. I'm pretty sure that there are other people that also would prefer this guy because of how mean and tough he looks, alright? He definitely looks like a bad boy in the making, alright? Like, seriously, why is he not a Decepticon? So, but yeah, that kind of wraps up my review on Bone Shaker here, so we're gonna go ahead and have him wave goodbye. If you guys like this review, make sure to leave a like, and also subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I will see you guys on the next review, alright? So, have a good night, you guys.